Welcome to the Sisterhood of Sweat. I am here today with Nagina Abdulah. Nagina Abdulah is a health coach for female professionals, corporate executives, and seven-figure entrepreneurs, and founder of the website masalabody.com. She teaches tested and perfected metabolism boosting strategies to help women lose 20 to 40 pounds while working 60 plus hours a week, even if they have tried everything. Nagina has a degree in molecular and cell biology from UC Berkeley and MBA from NYU Stern, and worked for top 4 consulting firm as a management consultant before starting her health coaching business. She has been featured in health.com, Business Insider, people.com, and so many more. Today was an awesome conversation with Nagina all about our health. I love conversations like this where we're really on the same page on health. And I loved listening to the way she laid everything down, just talking about getting a morning routine to boost our metabolisms. And she gave us powerful strategies to get the sugar out and to satisfy the cravings we might be having. And what, like she said, spice yourself skinny. She talked a lot about spices and how spices can help the brain feel satisfied almost the same way like a sweet craving, like a sweet can, like if the brain is craving that sweet thing. And she also talked about making lifestyle shifts and avoiding yo-yo dieting and working on our body images, and giving us mindset tips and mantras to help us stay motivated and consistent on our weight loss, fitness, and health journeys. And it was just such a great conversation. We talked about cinnamon and turmeric shots and just all kinds of fun stuff, ginger, and so many great tips about health. If you're a health geek like I am, you're going to love everything she had to say today, how she laid it down. And I hope you all gain something and come a little closer to a fantastic, glowing health journey. So without further ado, we're going to dive into this episode. I'm very excited to welcome my guest, Nagina, today. How are you?
I'm so good, Linda. I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, I'm doing great, and I've been really enjoying this beautiful weather that we're having. It's not too hot, not too cold. I did an amazing sprint and bleacher workout outside this morning.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. That sounds great. I know you were getting your muscles worked out with that. Wow.
It's my favorite, and I can socially distance because nobody was at the track but me.
Oh, that's so good. And you're getting all those stairs in. Oh my gosh, that's great.
Running the stairs. And also I like to go like early, so I got there before the school buses.
That's key. Keep it calm and quiet.
Yeah, right. It was perfect. I listened to a podcast and, for some motivation, and I'm excited to have you on to motivate all of our listeners today. And I really was diving into your story, and I want you to share with everybody how in the world you lost 40 pounds while working 60 plus hours a week.
Oh my gosh, thank you for letting me share. It was really truly transformative in my life. I'd struggled with my weight and with my health for my entire life, and I tried all the programs out there, from Weight Watchers to Nutrisystem to eating less and exercising more, and nothing ever got me to the fitness and to the health that I really wanted. And so what would happen is that I would try to work out. I would lose like 5 or 10 pounds, and then I would gain 15 pounds. And I kept going on this cycle. And so I started working in my dream job. I was a management consultant in New York City, and I was traveling all over the country, jumping on trains, jumping on planes, working with clients. And during that career, I had two children. I had my first child, then shortly after I had my second child. And so as naturally happens, I gained weight, you know, after my pregnancies. And at that point, it was, I felt like I had no choice. I could not go on the way that I was because I couldn't fit into any of the clothes in my closet. Every single thing was tight. I couldn't keep wearing my maternity pants for like a year or more. I didn't want to, at least. I wanted to wear my cute clothes that I had. And so what I did is I no longer had the time to try all those programs from the past because of my job and because I was now a mom. And so what I did is I researched all of the scientific information. I looked at nutritional journals, and I looked at foods that hadn't been shared before in a lot of weight loss programs and a lot of getting healthier programs. And so what I found is that there's a few things that you can actually add to your diet that boost your metabolism versus taking things out of your diet so that you feel restricted. And so I started adding those things. I started adding them. They not only made my food taste good, but the first month I lost 10 pounds by eating like a queen. Like I felt like I was eating such delicious foods. And within 9 months, I had lost 40 pounds. And then I went on my mission to get stronger and more toned. And so now it's been 9 years. My body fat is the lowest that it had been ever in my life. It's continued. And I've gotten stronger and more toned during this entire time. I can lift more. I can do more push-ups. I can do the longest plank beyond what I ever thought I could do. And it all started with what I was eating. And then I added on to that with getting fit.
Love that. Now, the reason I started out with the whole morning routine is because I feel like the secret is to get it done before you can't get it done and everything else gets in the way. And I really think a good morning routine can get you ahead of the 8 ball because you started your day off right. It's kind of like not getting out on the wrong side of the bed, but getting out on the right side, starting your day right. And could you share with everyone what your metabolism boosting morning routine is?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Well, this is one of the things that really started me on my journey to lose 40 pounds. And this is something that once you start doing this, you see results right away. Like you feel better, you feel amazing, you start to see all the changes in your body that you wanted to. And it's all from this metabolism boosting morning routine. So what you do is you start off with an infused debloating water within an hour from when you wake up, usually right when you wake up. And an infused debloating water, what that means is that you fill up a pitcher of water the night before and you put 2 to 3 lemons in it. You chop them up in slices. You don't have to peel them. You put 2 to 3 lemons in there. Then overnight, the lemon it infuses in the water. And so what lemons do is, first of all, in this time of coronavirus and wanting to increase our immune system, lemons themselves, one lemon will give you 30% of your daily vitamin C, just naturally, without you doing anything else. So there's one thing, you're boosting your immunity system. The second thing is that lemons help detoxify your body. And so that's another piece. Now, a couple other extra boosts or bonuses that you could add into this infused debloating water. One of them is adding mint. So if you have fresh mint leaves, what mint leaves do is they help you decrease your sugar cravings and they help decrease overeating. So you're putting mint in your water. It tastes amazing. The other thing that you can do is add some slices of cucumber the night before in your infused water. And what that does is it decreases water retention. So it helps your stomach get flatter because you're flushing out the water that's sticking to your body because of other reasons. And then finally, what you can do is you can add a sprinkle of cayenne pepper into your water the next morning, like as you're drinking it. And what that does is it boosts your metabolism and it curbs your appetite. So what you're doing is right away in the morning, you're starting your day with this infused debloating water. You just minimum have lemon and the other things are optional. You feel like you're indulging in yourself because this isn't something that you're not enjoying. You're loving your water. And then the most important thing is that you're hydrating your body right when you wake up. So that's the first thing. There's four moments to your metabolism boosting morning routine. The first one is that water. The second one is usually for those of us that like to have caffeine. caffeine, like coffee or tea, you can still have that. In fact, a lot of times, like there's a lot of studies that show that it does help you burn more calories, that it does boost your metabolism. The problem with coffees and teas is when you make it into kind of a sugar bomb in the morning, when you're adding sugar and you're adding tons of cream and things like that. Now, those things are okay. If you can take it down a little bit, it's going to help you. But one of the secrets to really having a healthier coffee or tea and still enjoying it is to add cinnamon into your coffee or tea. And what cinnamon does is it lowers your blood sugar. So that means that you don't store as much fat. And then the other perk is that we all know that cinnamon is sweet, but cinnamon doesn't boost your insulin. It doesn't make that rise, which sugar would do. So it's actually a perfect replacement to sugar because you're getting your sweet kick, but you're not increasing your insulin, which means you're not storing as much fat. So you've already had this beautiful morning. You've had the water, you've had the coffee. Now you need to eat something. And so one of the things that's really key with your morning is that you want to have what I call a protein more breakfast. So you always want to focus on having protein in your breakfast. And a lot of times we skip that. And a lot of times women skip that. Like we will feel like we're being healthier maybe by having something else, whether it's a bagel or oatmeal or something else. And those are all fine, but you actually want to add protein to that. And so the way that you can add protein is to do 2 eggs and even do 1 egg white in addition to that, because you're getting a little bit more protein. You could do Greek yogurt and add your own fresh berries to the Greek yogurt. Or you could do a protein smoothie and use a nice protein powder that has low sugar in it. And so those are 3 really simple ways to get your protein in the morning. And if you are vegan or vegetarian, that protein powder could be vegan. And that's really, really great. So those are 3. Those are the 3 of the moments. And then the 4th moment, this is really important. This is to add an anti-inflammatory boost to your morning. And what that means is that an anti-inflammatory boost, the result is that you are going to have less inflammation in your belly. You're going to have less puffiness in your face. Your joints are not going to be as swollen. Your ankles are not going to be as swollen. And you're starting your day with this anti-inflammatory boost. And so the way to get this boost, it's so simple. You may even feel like you just need to make a couple little switches to do this. One thing is adding foods like blueberries or other berries. They're anti-inflammatory. Spinach, if you're having eggs and you add spinach to your eggs, that's really anti-inflammatory. And then my favorite is to add a teaspoon of turmeric. And turmeric is a beautiful golden yellow spice that tastes, it's very mild. There's no spiciness about it. It has a slightly earthy flavor. And you can take a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon and add it to your eggs if you're having eggs, because it's yellow, it blends in, you don't even realize it's there, and you get these anti-inflammatory benefits, which also, if you're working out, are also helping you recover after you're having any kinds of workout. So these are the 4 moments. I can summarize them really quick. Infused debloating water, coffee or tea with cinnamon, protein more breakfast, and then an anti-inflammatory boost. And in that morning, you are going to set your day up for success. You are not going to want to go back after having that amazing, beautiful morning. And then you just keep going down that direction. And no matter what happens the rest of the day, you know you had a great morning. And so at least you started the day right.
Well, getting off to a good start always helps. And so many great tips. I feel like we're on the same page. The lemon cleanses your liver. That's why in my 8-week plan, I have this lemon water and the blueberry water. And it's so funny because the blueberries, if you eat a cup of blueberries every day, you increase the life of your memory by 10 years.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
It's really, really good for your cognitive function.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's an antioxidant. It does so many things for you. And equally the cinnamon, like how you said, we do a cinnamon tea in my 8-week course with fasting. We do because it helps to keep your blood sugar stable and decrease the appetite, and also it kills 99%. If you had E. coli and orange juice let's say, and you just put a teaspoon of cinnamon in the whole 2 quarts, it would just kill that right off. So like it's also kind of good for that. So there's so many things when you really look at the beauty of what nature has created and how it can work for you instead of against you. And like cucumbers are like electrically charged, like they give you an energy. And I love the fact that you're saying that put it in your water, it's going to help take some water off, because that's false fat. When you're carrying all that water on the body, you may think that, oh, but it could just be you're bloated because of all the toxins that you're taking in every day if you're eating fake foods. So I just really loved everything that you said about that. Now I know before you were spicing yourself skinny, and I love the turmeric. You brought that up. I use that daily and swear by its anti-inflammatory properties. Can you tell us some other spices that could help us?
Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh. And see I'm so glad you said, the fact that we're using nature to add to what we're doing, because these are natural additions. These are not supplements, like they're not artificial, and they've been used by our ancestors for hundreds of years. And when things have been passed down for hundreds and thousands of years, that means that there's power in it. There's something about it that our ancestors were using it. And so now one thing I want to mention with turmeric is that it is really important if you combine it with black pepper, which can also be called piperine. The compound is piperine, and I think you probably know this, Linda.
I take it too.
It's probably it combined. If you're taking a turmeric supplement, which is a great way to get the benefits, the anti-inflammatory benefits. If you're ever going to use turmeric, so if you're using it in your eggs, you can just sprinkle a little pinch of black pepper. And what that does is that increases the absorption of the turmeric by 2,000 to 5,000% in your body.
Amount.
Yes. So that's really amazing. So a couple others that I would love to share. So one of the spices that I think is really, really beneficial for overall health is ginger.
Let's just back up for 1 second.
Okay.
You said piperine.
Oh, yes.
Now, I've also read that helps to help you keep from storing fat and utilize it. You don't store your carbs as fat when you're taking the piperine, and also again helping with that blood sugar. You can't underestimate having that in your plan. Now, how much do you recommend people take it all in one supplement, or how do you recommend they get their piperine?
Yes. Okay. So piperine, it comes from black pepper. So if you're using salt and pepper, like a nice salt, and pepper, you are getting piperine. And so what you could just do is sprinkle just a little bit of it into your turmeric. And I suggest using a half teaspoon of turmeric with just a sprinkle, meaning less than 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper, because then it starts to become a little spicy. And what you were saying, it's actually turmeric with black pepper. What will happen is that it blocks new fat cells from forming. And so it's been proven, like it's such an effective addition for weight loss. And so you can use it like the way that we've been talking about in your cooking, in your eggs. You can even use it in your protein smoothie, which is really, really a great idea after you have a workout, because then your muscles are inflamed because they were just working out. So in terms of recovery, they help you recover better. But the other thing is to do a supplement, which is a great idea, because then you're exactly how much you're getting. You're doing it once a day and you're fine, and so that's really good. But that's how piperine really is in black pepper, or you can get it in your supplement. And so that's good. And you just want to combine it with turmeric.
So as a testimony to what she's saying, guys, I have been taking that, just like you said, with all those ingredients, twice a day, because I had injuries. I had several injuries during fitness competing, because I hit the age of menopause. And so I realized I needed to really take it seriously. So I was taking that. And the other day I sprung up out of bed, and it was the first time I felt like, woo, let's go. Like for a while.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I felt great. I crushed my workout in the morning, and then of course, I had another one. I had a boot camp at night. I crushed that workout too. And I was like, oh, this stuff works. It's completely taking inflammation out. And I think that's really important. I can't stress it enough to everyone today. That's why I'm so glad to have you on, because inflammation is a silent killer.
Oh my gosh, so true. Yes. I mean, when you can fix inflammation, like when you can start repairing inflammation in your body, that's the cause of so many diseases in your body. That's the cause of so much. And so if you can just kind of feel like easier and more and like smoother in your body, it's going to help you in so many ways. So
Yes.
yes.
Now we've
Yep.
talked about that, we have to go on to ginger. It sounds like we're talking
Yes.
about a girl, but really, it's great for your digestion, right?
Yes, I did love Gilligan's Island. So yes, ginger is absolutely excellent for your digestion. That's so true. And so, using ginger, the thing is, a little bit of ginger goes a long way. And one of the things I hear from many people is that they don't like the taste of ginger. And so,
Oh, yeah,
one
I've heard
key
that.
thing. Yeah, and so one thing is that you always want to start with less ginger. It's very powerful, so you really need just a touch of it, and then you can always increase more. But if it's a strong flavor, you're not going to like it, and it's not supposed to taste like that.
I
It's
still
supposed to
have
taste like
a
mild.
leftover shot of ginger in my fridge because I didn't realize, because I take turmeric shots, and I did not
Nice.
realize that this ginger shot was going to be so potent. It like took me aback. I was like, my eyes watered, um, because I was thinking it was going to be just like the turmeric shot. I had ginger before when I cook. That's different. When it's really in a shot, it's pretty, whew,
Wow.
not in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that you're taking all these shots, Linda. I mean, these are good. Well, like this is the kind of shots we're talking about: turmeric shots and ginger shots.
I
We're
do
party. You're
shots. I
part.
do
Yes.
shots in the morning. I do shots in the evening.
Yes, it's like depending on what kind of shot it is. Yes, but those are really great shots. What ginger does, it increases your digestion. So like many people may have a grandmother or have heard of a grandmother that had a ginger tea recipe, and there's a reason for that. And so actually having a ginger tea is really key. It's really a nice way to wind down in the
Oh, I
evenings
love
after
that.
dinner. And so all you do is like you take ginger, you grate it. If you grate it, you're not going to get such a strong flavor, or you just chop it up really fine and then you boil it in water. And you can also add a few other things. So a ginger tea is really good. And then also you were mentioning your cinnamon tea. There's a fire tea recipe that I have. I call it fire tea. And what it has is it
That sounds
has
exciting.
ginger. It is exciting. It is exciting. I'll tell you why. It's very exciting.
Ooh.
Hopefully your listeners will also agree with us.
Okay.
It's called fire tea, and the reason is because you have a little bit of ginger in it, and then you also use a cinnamon stick. And cinnamon sticks have been proven to fire away belly fat. And
Let's do it.
so, yeah, so I told you it's exciting. Yeah, you're right. So you just boil it. You do have to boil it for 20 minutes because that when you are using a cinnamon stick, all of the cinnamon unrolls slowly, and you get a sweet, slightly spicy flavor with the ginger. You're increasing your digestion. You're firing your belly fat away. You're lowering your blood sugar. And guess what? If you have, for those of us that may want to have wine at night, which can often be something that some of us want to wind down with, but we don't want to all the time, this is a perfect replacement for wine with 0 calories because it's sweet and it's comforting and it makes you
So
feel really
your
good.
tea has ginger and cinnamon?
Ginger, yep, and a
We
cinnamon
use the
stick in
ginger,
it.
we use the cinnamon sticks, but I don't think I had ginger in there. And I love it because this is our intermittent fasting week. We're doing it this week and next week. And next week is Set Yourself on Fire week. Get hot. And so we'll have to try your fire. We'll have to try your
Oh, I'm
fire.
going to send that. Yes, I'm going to send that over to you, Linda. I'm going to get that to you for sure so that you can have that. Yes.
Well, you made me want to come over. When you're talking about all these teas, it sounds like so relaxing. And the other thing about tea that I think people don't realize is when you're having cravings, like at night, or like even if it was maybe 3 or 4, but I like to do it at night specifically. But if you had a tea and I like to put a little stevia in, but you know, whatever you want to use in moderation, not sugar. But I think it just really the tea, something about it is very soothing and fulfilling, and it really does help with cravings. We use it a lot when we do any type of fasting.
Oh, that's amazing. Yes, it really does because of course if you're having water is great because it's hydrating you, but then sometimes you want something different. You want something with flavor, and you also want something that's comforting. And that's a key part of having teas, is that you feel comforted, and when you're using the spices and the herbs, you are really actually feeling like you're taking care of yourself. And that's something that when we're on the health journey, a lot of times it feels like at times it could feel it's more focused on restricting yourself. So when you turn the table and you have a tea that makes you feel so good, almost like you're indulging, then you just want to do that more. You don't want to do it less, and you want to keep doing it. So it actually helps you build sustainable habits and a sustainable lifestyle.
And I like what you're saying, because I think a lot of the times people will ask if they do a plan, they're thinking in a restrictive scarcity mindset. They're thinking that, oh my gosh, what can I not eat? And when really the whole world of food is just opened up to you, if you really see it from, this is real food, this is fake food. The real food satisfies. You generally don't, like, you know, I remember one day I thought, I'll have a cheat day like everyone else has after their competition is over. And I ate fake food. And I remember that day, you just kept eating it, and it never satisfied. It was like
Yes.
night, and I still wasn't satisfied. And it hit me. I was like, oh, okay, it's just fake food. It never satisfies you like real food. Because with real food, you'd be done, because you could not eat more, because you would be full, because it's real. Like, it's not this fake, fluffy, white flour, you know. And when we were talking about sugar, don't add sugar to the tea. How do you get women to stop feeling like they're restricted, and also to get that sugar out of their whole entire diet? Because it's fooling you. It's what's causing you this vicious merry-go-round.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's so true. When you eat in a way that's balanced for your body, and it's actually, you could be at a point, depending on where, you are, where someone that's listening is in their journey, you may not even know what it feels like to feel that balance, and to know that you don't actually have to feel cravings. Like, you feel it because it's a result of the food that we're taught to eat by people that are keeping us on this cycle forever. And once you learn to get off of it, you feel balanced. Someone could put a whole plate of donuts or cookies, even if you love them, you won't even want them. It's unbelievable until it happens to you, and then in terms of getting off sugar, it's so true that when you have some sugar, it makes you want more sugar. Sugar is absolutely that drug. It makes you when you have a bite of something, you should kind of just know it's good. You're going to start having to fight yourself now, because your body's going to start wanting more. And so one of the key things, though, is that sugar is not only in sweets, because a lot of times it can be easy to say, I'm not going to have sweets. But sugar is in so many of the foods we're eating, because foods break down to sugar. So a lot of foods that are processed, any processed food, pretty much any food with white flour, or any foods with kind of just like flours that are really not more a whole grain, they're going to break down quickly to sugar, and that causes you to actually want sweet. So you could eat something that's not sweet, it breaks down to the sugar, and then you just feel like you have those sweet cravings. Even things like diet soda, which don't have sugar, but since they have NutraSweet or other things, they're actually going to make you almost have uncontrollable cravings for sugar. So
right. It's your body doesn't know the difference. It's actually almost worse. People could crave sugar more than they would even with sugar, like when they're having an artificial sweetener.
Yes, absolutely. And then the other thing is that, so with artificial sweeteners, a lot of people wonder, are they okay? Are they not okay? And so, they're questionably better than sugar, for calories sake only. But the thing that's happening is when you're using artificial sweeteners a lot, or you're using it just regularly even, you're keeping your brain addicted to the flavor of sweet. And that's the thing. That's the, you are actually not able to taste the beauty of vegetables. You need your vegetables to be sugary. And so then you're going down this spiral where everything you're eating, you're wondering, why aren't you getting the body that you want? Why aren't you getting more fit? Why is it so hard? Well, it's because your brain wants sweet, and because you don't even like the taste of non-sweet items. So you actually have to backtrack. And the way that I recommend,
used to the taste of natural food, right?
Exactly, getting used to it. And one of the bridges that I found works well is using those spices as a bridge, because you're still getting flavor in your vegetables, you're still getting flavor in your foods, and it's actually causing your brain to be satisfied, just like sugar causes us to, like, we look for things until we get that kind of rush that sugar gives us. Well, spices give you a different kind of rush. It's not a rush, it's more of, they just satiate you, they make you feel like you're done with eating. And so when you're looking to have things taste good, using spices versus sweet, using that instead of sauces and like really thick butters or creams, is actually going to help you transition off of sugar. And once you transition off of sugar, you can still continue using flavors and spices, but you may not even need them anymore, because you're actually going to imagine, you're going to like the taste of an asparagus. You're going to like the taste of a zucchini.
It's
That can happen.
hilarious. People never, when I tell them at the beginning, they never believe it. They never, I'm like, you aren't going to want that frou-frou pumpkin spice latte you're getting, because it's going to be, you're going to taste, it's going to be too sugary sweet, and you're not going to want it. And I remember one in particular lady was like, nah. And then when it happened, she was like, oh my gosh, you're right. And they'll be like, oh my gosh, that was the best sweet potato with cinnamon, or that was the best like broccoli, like whatever it was you're eating, because you're not dumbing your taste buds, like, because we have over 200 taste buds in our mouth, but if you're having overpowering tastes of fake foods and Doritos and all of that, what happens is then your taste buds can't experience the natural sweetness in your vegetables, or you just can't get into the natural taste of the food, because you've really overpowered your senses, if that makes sense.
Yes, I absolutely understand what you're saying. And it's true. It's like you can only taste these things that you're used to. But then, like, say you get like these farm fresh vegetables, and like if you actually taste it, like say you grill it, or you, however you want to prepare it, and you to just actually experience the juiciness of squash, of asparagus, of bell peppers. It's like, it's really amazing. Like, I'm at a point now where I crave vegetables. I can't not have them. And I
Yeah.
never believed that that was possible. But it was, the way that to get there is to slowly take yourself off sugar by understanding where sugar's hiding in the normal foods that you're eating.
Yes, and also if you want to get rid of sugar, you have to stop eating it, because it's like crack
Yes.
cocaine. It's 8 times more addictive, for real, as
Oh,
Dr.
yeah.
Mark Hyman says. And you just really have to just, if you want to get sugar out, you got to get it out. Like, you can't,
Yep.
especially if you're really addicted to sweets, then if you eat one cupcake, all that does is make you want more.
Absolutely. It absolutely, it becomes a very, very uphill battle when you are continuing to have sugar, and you're continuing to be addicted to sugar. When you can find out how to not be addicted to sugar, it's a downhill battle. You'll just roll down that hill to more fitness, and you're not going to be fighting yourself so much.
This is so good today. What is the, what, with female leaders out there, how can we create a lifestyle shift and avoid all this yo-yo dieting, and then all these problems that we have with our weight yo-yoing up, losing this 10 pounds over and over and over and over and over, which is like yo-yoing. It's bad. It's so bad. And then you know, how we have this concept of our body image where, you know, we're struggling with that too. How can you help everybody out there today?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, one of the things is to actually not want to try to lose weight really quickly as your main goal. A lot of times, like, we'll have the thought that we're going to a wedding or a trip and we need to get into our dress or our bathing suit and we need to hurry up and lose weight. That only causes you to lose weight in an unhealthy, temporary way. And if you want to go ahead and do that, go ahead. But you're going to see, as probably many women have already seen this, when you do that, the weight comes back on plus much more, because it was a restrictive, unhealthy way of losing it just for the result of like a temporary result. So really the best way, and the way that you can actually be having the hottest body you've ever dreamed of, like for 5 years and 10 years, and 15 and 20 years, you can actually look better in 10 years from now, you know, it's possible.
It's right. You're so true. So true.
Yeah. And so the thing is to look at it as a lifestyle shift. And so what that means is you don't have to hurry up and make like every single change and make unhealthy changes. What you want to do is learn to eat so that you are full, so that you are satiated the way that we've been talking about. Learn what to add to your meals. I have this framework. It's called a fat burning food framework. And what it includes is having the right amount of protein, usually adding more protein, having more vegetables on your plate, and then eating healthy carbs and healthy fats. And it's a combination of how to combine those. And so when you actually combine those foods, you start to feel this perfect satisfaction that you don't want anything more, and you're fine, you're not restricted. Once you start learning how to treat yourself in this way, or how to treat yourself in a way where you do feel good with what you're eating, then you start to crave eating the right way. Your weight comes off, you get stronger, you can meet all the goals that you had set for yourself. And then you're not in this up and down battle. So it's really to search out how to create a lifestyle transformation. And most of those programs out there, the main programs, they are not giving you a lifestyle transformation. They're giving you temporary weight loss, and they're not even working on you building your strength, which is a key part of keeping your dream body. Is when you have more tone and muscle on your body, it burns more calories. So you can create a fat burning body by strength training. That's like the easiest way to keep your weight off, is by eating the right way and then just doing some strength training and helping yourself be the strongest, most fat burning version of yourself. And then it's like an everyday thing. You're just doing these things and they're habits. They're not sprints. They're more just like everyday routines that you do. And then you don't even think about it. That's how you make real change.
Love that. So great. Can you share a few mindset, because I'm all about mindset, and mantras, you know, positive affirmations that have worked for your clients to help them stay motivated and consistent on their journeys?
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. So I have two mantras I would love to share with you that I feel like they can be very helpful on the journey. And the first one is basically that give yourself permission to lose the weight, or give yourself permission to get healthier, whatever your goal is. A lot of times, especially as women, there's so many other things happening in our lives. We have many things to juggle between our career, our families, maybe spouses, kids, and it seems like so many other people take precedence. So when you actually want to get healthier, when you want to get that body that is important for you to have for so many reasons, so that you can fuel your energy, you can be there for your loved ones for years and years to come, and you can look really good in any outfit that you want to wear. There's a lot of benefits, and there's nothing right or wrong about these. They just are what they are. And so when you actually set those as goals, you have to clear the path to make these a reality. And that means being strong in your vision, that I give myself permission to get the time, to invest the money, to not do all the social things I might have done another time. I'm actually going to stay focused on my goal, because this is about me right now. So you give yourself permission to get healthier. You allow yourself that permission and you take the steps that you need to take. And this is a game changer versus saying, I should do this, but I don't have time. I should do it. Well, give yourself that permission and do what you need to do, because you're going to feel like a rock star when you get to be the healthiest version of yourself. So that's one thing, is just allowing yourself to do that. And then another mindset that I think is really, really important is called action before attitude. And what that means is, a lot of times we want to eat healthier, we want to go work out, but then we just don't feel like it in the moment. We're either too tired to get up, or we really don't want to eat that salad with the, with black beans or whatever it may be. And you kind of give in to your emotions. But if you can actually look at the person you want to be and know that it takes these steps to get there, then what you do is you put your action first. So you say, I'm going to eat this healthy lunch. I'm going to make it taste good. You can make it taste good, like with a lot of the strategies we've talked about. If you're not getting up to work out, maybe you have to hire a personal trainer. Maybe you have to do something. You have to change your game, get accountability, do what you need to do. But do what it takes to take the action. And what ends up happening is your attitude catches up to you. So you start craving that healthy lunch. You can't go without eating that healthy lunch. You start to crave your workout, but you have to put in some hard work in the first 1 to 2 weeks and really put your action first, and then your attitude will catch up and you'll be sailing on your journey. So those are two mindsets, like motivational mindsets to get going.
Yeah, and the most important time to do it is a lot of the time, unless you have the flu or you have you're really sick, is when you don't feel like it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
And think about later, like if you are having some kind of a craving, think about how you're going to feel later if you caved into eating that sugary substance, whatever.
Yes.
Like,
exactly.
How are you going to feel later? It's like this whole guilt sabotage trip. And so just resist and think, what can I eat that would satisfy me? Am I sleepy? Am I hungry? Am I tired? Am I thirsty? Because a lot of times it's that. Or is there something going on emotionally that I want to reward myself with a cupcake when I could reward myself with a nap or a hot tea or a walk outside?
So true. Oh my gosh, I love all of those. And I the thing that I think is really key with what you said, it's not only about saying, I'm not going to have this. It's like, what else can you have? Because you have a desire for something. It's usually not actually the food. There's something else you're desiring. Like it could be rest. It could be getting out of boredom. It could be having more excitement. So it's not about just not doing it. It's about what else can you do? And it doesn't have to only be food-based either. And so you gave some really great examples of that. That's so key. Yes.
Yeah. Well, and during COVID, I had to do that same type of thinking. Instead of focusing on all the things that are canceled, I was like, okay, what's not canceled? What could I do that I've always been wanting to do and take time to do it, And I just think it's flipping that switch to a more positive instead of a sabotaging cycle, that we can fall into. Why should the leaders, out there, as well as all women, be concerned about the conversations that we're having around weight loss and body image?
Yes. Well, I actually think that, and I've seen that it's really underplayed that we don't talk about how important our body image is and how important our health is when it's actually playing a huge part in us being more successful. Like we can't hide it. If you walk into a room and you are fit, and you look confident, you feel confident, you put more energy out there, and people know that you respect yourself so much that you have put yourself first in so many places. So it shows an air of confidence. Now that doesn't mean that if you are out of shape, like you can't do the work that someone in shape could do, but there's a level of confidence and a level of focus that when you are completely in shape, you bring. And there are multiple studies that show that women that are eating right, that are not eating a lot of sugar, that are eating healthy diets, women and men, that your brain is more clear, that you have more focus,
Oh
that
yeah,
you
less
have
brain
longer
fog.
memory. Yeah. So like if you are looking and if you are a high performing leader and you want to be the best at everything, you really do have to fire, with all engines. You have to be high performing in the way you bring yourself to the table, in the way that you take care of yourself. And that comes off in so many things. And so there's, sometimes like it's often looked at like we can't talk about people being in shape or not in shape because it's not politically correct. But it's not about being skinny or not skinny. That's not the actual conversation. The conversation is, are you taking care of yourself and are you bringing yourself to the highest performer that you can be? Because if you're not, then you're not going to be this. You are not being competitive in the market. And so that's what leaders really, really should be looking at themselves, and more people are taking their wellness much more seriously, because it's not only about what school you went to or about, what your experience is. It's all of that plus how do you carry yourself? How much do you respect your health? Because if you're not respecting your health, you're going to be getting sick. You're not going to be here as long. There's so many things that you're giving up. And so the fact that women who take that seriously, they know that that's important. And so it's a conversation that it's starting to happen in a lot of places. I really believe if someone takes care of themselves, it shows that they are going to bring a lot more to the table. They respect themselves in that way. So
I love that so much. Don't forget to have your millionaire morning.
oh yes.
Treat
Yes, I love
yourself
it.
like you're worth $1 million, because
Yep.
you can't buy your health. You
Yes.
can't buy feeling good. You can't, you may be able to buy some plastic surgery, but you can't buy the glow that health brings. So it's something you have to
Absolutely.
just put first and do.
Yeah, and the confidence and the feeling of happiness when you are at your best health and when you wake up and you don't feel inflamed and you don't feel heavy
Oh
and you
yeah.
just feel strong.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
it's invaluable.
It's invaluable, and I know, because I'm telling you guys, I woke up like, wow, I feel good, let's get it. And I hadn't felt like that in a while. That would be my normal self, but it hasn't been since I had all these injuries. And so now that I'm on the upswing, having my liquid collagen and having my turmeric and all these things, I'm feeling really good. So it does
Amazing.
matter. And I am having a birthday next week. I'll be 58.
Oh my, wow. Oh my gosh, you are an inspiration. Wow, you look amazing. You're like so like nicely built. Like, wow, that's amazing.
Thanks. And I feel good, and that's what matters, how you reach in those birthdays. How are you might not feel good at 40, but you could feel great at 58, like, because of prioritizing you, and you matter, and you're worth taking time for.
Yes, so true. Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can have some of the turmeric shots on your birthday, right?
Woo, woo. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then I may have to have a long life cocktail that my mentor Anne Louise Gittleman makes.
Oh, nice. Oh
But
my
it's
gosh.
not with alcohol. It's just got, cranberry and all that kind of thing. But it has been so lovely talking to you. I really enjoyed everything that you had to say. Now, one thing I forgot to ask you, so I just got to do it. You had a 20K launch,
Oh, mm-hmm.
and what, was this the first launch you had like that? What was the secret to your success?
Oh, well, oh, and the thing that launch, what was so interesting about it is that a few months earlier, I had done the similar launch and I made $0. I made $0. And at that point, I actually thought, like, should I even do this anymore? You know, there's moments in your business or in your career where you're like, is this the path I should even go on? And so I had to take a few months and really step back. I actually got some input from a lot of great people. And when I launched my first program, my program that was $0 was called Foods to Be Fit. And then my second program, which made 20,000, was called Spice Yourself Skinny. And just the change in the name and the exact, like the more specific way that I reached at people, that was a huge change. So everything else about the program was the same, but it was that it was so specific and it was so interesting, because there's so many programs out there that are called foods to get fit, foods. I mean, so many things around that. It was not very specific. And so what I did is I got really specific about spices, and like, this thing, spices are going to help you get fit. They're going to help you lose weight. And so that program, you know, it had the same things that the other program did, but it was really the marketing of it and the way that I shared how exactly I would help people. And so then from there, it was really a big, that was a big boost. So that was really the changing of the name, and also not stopping and still believing in that I could help people. I knew I could help people. I knew I just had to change it.
I love that though, because you actually said what it is you were doing in 3 words. And that's what I think works, is people need not be confused about what you're saying. Like, if they understand what you're giving and what your problem you're solving, you said it all in 3 words.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah, it was so straightforward and simple. And the way I got there, I tested things out. I wrote a lot of blog posts and I wrote some articles around spices. And I found out that people were really fascinated and interested by it. So I didn't just happen upon this name either. I did a lot of research and I took feedback from what I was hearing from my audience, and I incorporated that. So yeah, and then it was very straightforward. And then I'm just like so happy. So many women got great results. They lost 40 pounds, 60 pounds. They got, like, you know, after they had been stuck at their weight for decades, and they did it in a way that was fun and that was sustainable. And so that made me just so happy that I was able to find the way to reach the women that I wanted to reach.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great story. I couldn't let it go without everybody hearing about that. And where can everybody reach you on social media and get part of? You said you're having some type of a course or something in 6 weeks from now. Where can they
Yes.
find that?
Yes, absolutely. Well, now the best place to find me is to head over to my website, masalabody.com. And when you enter your email and your name, I will send you my free recipe book, which is called 7 Spicy Recipes to Melt Away Your First 7 Pounds. And that has really, really tasty, easy recipes, many of them which are from my Spice Yourself Skinny course. So masalabody.com. I'm also on Instagram at masalabody. And I am having a free workshop called the 5-day Slim Down for Fierce Feminine Leaders. And I'm super excited about that. It starts on October 19th. And the way you can get a free spot to it, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be teaching you for 5 full days. I'm going to be teaching more about the metabolism boosting morning routine, the fat burning food framework, some mindsets that are really transformational, and just really getting you started on your journey. And so the way to sign up for that is masalabody.com/slim down. And then you can grab your spot there. And I'll be so excited to see you in that workshop.
Awesome. I really have enjoyed. We'll have to have you back. I've really enjoyed having you on today, and just want to acknowledge you for setting, being a trendsetter and really paving a way for people to be in the best shape of their lives.
Oh, thank you so much, Linda. I've really enjoyed our conversation. I've so enjoyed all the things that you've shared about all the things that you're doing with your clients. And that's so amazing. And so thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And thanks everybody for listening to this episode of the Sisterhood of Sweat.